Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates and welcome to the first day of Waxvent. We're going to be doing a video for you every single day for the next 24 days leading up until Christmas. So you get your last video on Christmas Eve, guys. You've been so good this year, we thought we'd give you an extra little treat, that's all. So you can see for this patient now, we've got this very hard wax here at the entrance to the canal. Patient has been using a little bit of olive oil in here as well, so it has been softening this front end. But what you can see is we're getting these lots of these little sort of plates of dry wax that are all coming away here. Olive oil does really help to soften this up. If this hadn't been oiled, it would be really tough old stuff to remove. So you can see I'm using the standard size ulnar tube in here. Quite a narrow entrance to the canal. We can only just about accommodate the standard size tube. But because these pieces are quite hard, they do tend to sort of interlock into one another. So when you get a good grip, as we've got here, and start to draw this down the canal, it does tend to bring a little bit more of that wax down with it. So we've got it a little bit stuck here. So we're going to pop in with the Jobson horn, drop over the top and just start drawing this forwards. There we go, out that comes. You can see quite a hard old lump there, a little bit of dry skin attached to that left hand side as we take that away. But yeah, fair old size, very dark in color as well. You got regular viewers of the channel know that means it's usually very old wax as well. So we're just clearing away some of the looser pieces here at the entrance, but you can see the wax goes much further in. So I'm just going to start taking a couple of these bits and bobs away here. There we are, just around the sort of entrance of the canal. A few people have, asked this question a bit as well. We talk about, leaving stuff behind, not clearing the entrance to the canal and things like that. At the end of the day, you've got to remember this isn't a cosmetic procedure. This is a procedure to get people hearing better. So if there is a little bit of wax left behind, that's perfectly normal. It should be there. It's there to help to protect those ears. And if you do see somewhere around the entrance to the canal there, it doesn't affect that particular patient. You can wash that away with a flannel or a cloth as well. So we're just taking this, this big old chunk away. There we go. You can see we're getting these much deeper pieces coming through now, all looking very angular and very dark in color. So these are very old pieces. You can see it's blocking all the way down. It's right on top of the eardrum as well. So it's going very deep here. So you can understand why this patient would have had so much difficulty with their hearing. So we're just managing to get some of these smaller bits away first of all. You can see as the pressure builds inside the suction, everything's getting sucked into the tube. And then we're going to start working on these much harder and deeper pieces here. Always a little bit more gentle when you're working deeper in the canal. These are very sensitive parts of the ear canal walls, and the eardrum itself is also very sensitive. So it just means that we just managed to get a little bit more cautious as far as the patient's concerned. We want this to be a nice experience to have done, nothing uncomfortable. But we're really starting to break these blocks down now at the back end of this ear canal. There we are, it's just starting to get sucked in there. You can't put too much pressure on the wax at this point. If you press into the wax too much, then what that does, it actually pushes and that force gets transferred onto the eardrum itself, which you can well imagine would be very uncomfortable. So you're just kind of hovering, or if you have got to go onto it, you've got to maintain enough pressure just to touch onto the wax. But what we're doing here is trying to draw some of the wax pieces away here. Obviously, the further away we take them from the eardrum, the more comfortable it's going to be for the patient. You just see a little bit of oil creeping over the lens there, but I've got a grip on this piece. So we'll just take this one away and then we'll clear that lens of the olive oil. That's the only downside of using olive oil, is you do get a little bit of remnants around the ear canal entrance. It can transfer then onto the lens of the endoscope there. So managed to give that a nice good clear. Took that big chunk away. Obviously, the more of these pieces we take away, the more maneuverability we have then in the ear canal, and the less of it, the less of the wax is holding on to that canal wall, so that the looser it becomes. So you can see I'm just concentrating most of my efforts here on this right hand side. Look at that coming away. Nice big chunky piece came away then. You can see what I mean about these sort of layered blocks of wax sitting one over the top of the other. We're taking these bigger pieces away, but we've still got more to leave behind it. So we've got to go back in and collect those bits. But they're all unpeeling in sort of layers here, a bit like an onion if you like, sort of unpeeling that. There we are, got a good grip there now to that left-hand side, drawing everything down very slowly away from the ear canal. Sometimes with these dry bits, the sides can be quite angular, so you don't want to scrape those across the canal wall because that can be uncomfortable as well. So you try and hold it and very gently transfer this down the canal. There we go. Look at the color of that, how dark that piece is. You know, that's been in here a very, very long time, I would say. Oh, a few little bits to mop up in here, so you can see really accurately now how all these blocks fit together. So we've got these little pieces at the top, this little piece there, there we go, that's got that bit. That's going to block the fine end. Now this is the fine end here, so a much thinner tube going on. The reason we've switched to this is because we're doing a little bit more delicate work, taking individual pieces away now. Just twisting the endoscope around there a little bit just to maintain the view. There we go, out that piece comes. There we go. Let's get rid of that. I've tried to slow these pieces down so you can see them coming away here. So we've just got this piece to the bottom, these three little separate pieces here at the top. So we'll just grab those. There we go. Out that one comes. As it transfers down the canal, there you can still see that they're still quite, although they look quite small against the eardrum, they're still quite chunky pieces, these ones. Just that little bit there to take away at the top. Out that comes, there we go. Is that going to come away as one piece? Yeah, there we go, that side came away. And then we'll just go back in and get that very, very last little piece then, and then we'll start on the patient's other ear canal. There we go. And last little bit to come away. Eardrum itself looking a little bit dull. You can see it's got this kind of slightly blue-grey colour there, and the light reflex is there though, so it's that's absolutely fine. There we go. Let's have a look at the other side. So a very, very similar story on this side as well. You can see the much lighter material here, certainly at the entrance that we're just taking away now. That's got really softened up. It's actually broken off the main block of wax, that one. It's just where the olive oil's gone in. It's softened up those little pieces. They've started to come away as well. There we are, just trying to maneuver this down the ear canal. I do have to apologise for Stephen. He's during Waxmas, there's one of the guys that watches the videos here is called Stephen. He does a lot of the rhymes that go along with the Waxmas. Obviously, he didn't realise we were going to do 24 days worth, so I apologise in advance, Stephen, we're going to do 24 days worth of rhyming. So yeah, fingers crossed. So we'll take this last little bit here. There we go. We just managed to manoeuvre this plug now. You can see it's really, really soft at the entrance, ultra sticky as well. This is where it's softened up. Let's try and wiggle this out of the, oh, it's almost there. It's on its way. There we go. I'm going to fight it a little bit though to get it out to the canal. You can see how the canal entrance is quite narrow. Very long, thin piece of wax, that one. So that's come away really nicely. Let's take a look behind. I'm sure there's more in there. Yes, there it is. You can actually see a little bit of skin as well. That grey material, there we go. You can just see it lifting up now into the suction. A little bit of dry skin that's been hanging around in here as well. Usually it runs down the side of these blocks of wax. It can be beneficial sometimes when you're taking it out because it can interlock and interweave into all the bits behind it. So when you pull it, draws a whole lot forwards, which is always handy when that happens. There you go. As you can see, it's sort of happening here. Bit of skin's gone. We've got that plug now to the outer part of the ear canal. We may have to switch to the Jobson horn if this gets stuck. There it is. So over the top now with the Jobson horn, just sneak behind that. Draw this down. You can see I'm kind of folding and rolling this wax down. Certainly the front end. Sometimes you're lucky, and if the wax plug is quite short, as you roll it, the rear of the wax plug comes up to the top and you can get behind that and then the whole thing comes out. But I think what's happened here is that front section's just dropped down. The rear section was just, the plug was just a little bit too long, so that back end of the plug hadn't rolled upwards. So there we go. It's starting to come away again now. Oh, it's got, you can see a fair size plug there. That's really not coming out that ear canal particularly well there, is it? Really stuck. Oh, if we give this a wiggle, it might do though. There we go, it's on its way. There it goes. Out that plug comes. So you can see there were these three distinct plugs in here. Looks very, very good there. How are we looking behind that? Oh, a little bit stuck. This is the standard size on the tube because there's a bigger chunk there, so we can suck that straight onto the tube. You can actually see it all sort of imploding into the tube as it comes out the ear canal as well. There we are, looking good. A little bit of dry skin attached to that, and oh, up that went the tube. How are we looking here? Just give it a quick clean. There we go. And let's have a look at this eardrum. You actually see the dots there on the eardrum. That's where it was actually resting. No light reflex there though, so quite dull. But this is what we moved. So 5 centimeters, 2 inches worth of earwax for your first day of Waxvent, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you liked the idea of Waxvent. It was a bit of a funny, we didn't know whether to do it this year or not. But obviously we'll be back tomorrow for day 2 and moving forwards every day. So guys, as always, take care of yourselves, take care of your ears, and take care of one another. And we'll still see you tomorrow. Bye.